Hey peeps, I don't know where my incense is. Here we go. That brings me to one of the things I was thinking about this morning, which is ritual. And, you know, blessing the cards, counterclockwise, because it's sort of we're entering into a different kind of space. Burning the sage, whatever it is. And I think it works because it somehow tags the deep intention to something fairly simple in the physical world. You know, I set a sacred space, that's my intention. You're in this too, to the 4 directions, and it just is like a code, it seems to me, that you put out there into the kind of malleable universe. And because it's intention on your end, it's somehow read. It's somehow read by the benevolent forces that care about what happens to us. And we have to participate in that, care about each other, and be open to the idea that, you know, there are means there's powerful support coming to us, and it doesn't matter whether or not we can identify a particular source in 3D. It's from source. That source energy that we participate in. Blah, 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 blah. And the other ritual that occurred to me was just some idiosyncratic ones that I have, like I discovered, well, let's say my mother lived about a block away. You know, for years we were that close, and we're very close. And, you know, I loved her. She was a tricky person. I'm sure she found me a bit challenging too. But she could be, there was a venomous aspect. I mean, Mom, I love you, you know, to the depths of my being, but there was a ferocity that was often unleashed on complete innocence, be it the dog or her grandchildren, or, you know, she treated and act as if they were her friends, and they'd get around the corner and she'd be just trashing them. And it would just infuriate me. And rather than come at her, I tried to deal with it for a while, and then when I realized I was boiling over with anger, I'd go outside and spit. A little bit like the snake bite. Remember I said venomous? You know, you get the venom out and you just, and it sort of works. Because that was my intention. You know, it was like giving myself permission to let go of this thing that was hurting me, that had gotten in my blood somehow. She got under my skin. I don't think she even meant to. A lot of the things she did was just, you know. So there's that. And there was another thing, but let's see if it comes up in the reading. Ritual, how that can be a shortcut, a shorthand for the deeper thing. Something like that. Okay, can you give us a little bit more? Spirit. Well, yeah. Hierophant. Card of higher power. you know, that most essential part of who we are. It's earth energy that is, you know, knows what's what, knows. There was a, this is a card of the teacher, the internal teacher. But what came up for me just now was, and I've said this before, I think more than once, in the movie Forrest Gump. Gump, who is labeled slow, and is this extraordinary fellow, says to this woman he loves, who's usurious and kind of a ninny, but he's loved her since he was a little boy, and he asks her to marry him. And she just sort of dismisses it. And he says to her, I may not be a smart man, but I know what love is. I know what love is. And this is a joyous revelation. You know, Hierophant in traditional Rider-Waite is kind of a stern card of authority and of orthodoxy and of hierarchy. Here it's about the internal hierarchy. Not bowing down to an authority figure, but looking inside yourself for the answer, for the light, for the teaching. It's not somber at all. And it's done in steps, which is very earth energy. You know, one step at a time, one day at a time, one lifetime at a time. Wow. After Hierophant, we have Two of Cups. Mutual feeling, you know, loving somebody and being loved back. Being vulnerable with someone. This can also be a card of marriage or spiritual marriage or a higher commitment. You know, a love that's based on what's sacred to both people. That the love is the bond, not the, you know, I pronounce you man and wife thing, which is, listen, I've been married. I learned a lot from it. I've also had really important relationships that weren't church sanctioned. And it was like the wedding, the ritual celebrates the connection that's already there. If the connection isn't already there, a marriage won't suddenly sanctify it and make it the holy connection. That's based on earth energy, on what we do in 3D. I'm sounding preachy. This is sort of the energy of Hierophant. But in its best aspect, it's checking in with yourself. Four of Swords. That's a card of healing. It is a card of being isolated a little bit. In traditional Rider-Waite, it's a person in the tomb. Here it's the person in the nest. But they've got some pain to deal with before they can reemerge. Healing heartbreak. Tower energy under Hierophant. I think a relationship blew up. This is a card of Scorpio. You know, dramatic change, something busting out of its confines. You know, it's dramatic and it can be devastating. Kind of the light side of this card is revelation, epiphany, something mind-blowing that just changes everything in your life. Earth energy. Card of Scorpio of water, Two of Cups, water energy. I think a relationship, well, let's see. Let's find out. it's almost like the healing, the time that it took to heal something was destabilizing. Tell us about Two of Cups Tower. Okay. Seven of Cups. That's a card of, can be of indecision, of having a bunch of options to choose from, different connections to choose from. It can also be, though, a card of confusion or procrastination. You know, let me just take a little longer to decide what connection is the most important. And that took a while. And this is like sudden, boom, it takes no time at all. I don't know if somebody's indecision about a connection, perhaps a higher commitment, a marriage, or, you know, this was considered a sacred connection. What blew it up? What are we healing from? Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is a stable energy. So what blew it up? Somebody else's inability to decide. Because on the board, this character is looking away from Queen of Pentacles, who's looking away from them. You know, you took a long time to consider what you were feeling. You know, I have to think about what I feel, that kind of thing. And it could be also a confusion. How did this happen? You know, I looked away for a minute and the whole thing exploded. Tell me about Tower. That's a card of looking to the future. Maybe somebody was anticipating that things were going to blow up soon. Maybe it was this tower business, whatever structure or paradigm or situation it was, had to blow up in order to be able to think about the future. Like it wasn't tenable. So I had to think about moving forward or, you know, manifesting something else that would come to me. This person does have the surfboard, and this is water energy. But this is like a tsunami. Unexpected, overwhelming. Overwhelm also, interestingly enough, means, you know, when the wave washes over you, overwhelms you. The whelm being the wave. I think it's when something collapsed, then there was the possibility of a future. I don't quite get this yet, but let's see on Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Well, that's a match. That would make a very stable marriage. Earth energy, Hierophant. You know, that's something that's perhaps sanctioned by the church, but also by both people's, you know, the higher power endorses this. It's that kind of spiritual connection. The confusion, Seven of Cups. Magician. You know, I've got a lot of options about which connection I could make manifest. you know, magician has all the energies, the wand, the sword, the pentacle, and the cup on the table in front. Everything is there in place to basically combine in any way and bring through what you choose. I mean, would that it were that easy, but somebody couldn't decide what to manifest, what connection to make real. And maybe they thought they could do it in the future, you know, that they had time to, Six of Cups, consider what they feel. But I love it that there's Tower, there's this emotional explosion, Scorpio energy, the changes here, come what may, and then this one's standing there with a surfboard. You know, I can surf the water, the change, surf the energy of change, something like that. Okay. I think if King and Queen of Pentacles would be stable enough that they could face a shifting future together and kind of come what may. You know, the unexpected upheavals in life, will be able to face them when they come. And I said, this person might be anticipating a Tower moment. And I don't think they purposefully manifested a Tower moment, but they were somehow poised and ready for it to happen. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Tell us about Hierophant, please. The connection, the spiritual connection, the marriage, the higher self. Somebody may be trying to heal their connection to the divine in order to heal their connection to the other person. And that it's going to take some time before this new thing can, you know, emerge from the nest. It's a future event. On Hierophant, wow. Ace of Cups. You know, the heart activation here, it's just glowing. And at the top of the ascension is the glow. It's all the lessons, Hierophant, that love teaches us. Self-love is really got to be part of the equation. The Ace of Cups, you know, my own love for myself. It's a precondition for the connection to somebody else. And we best do this before we get too far into the connection, or do it along the way as well. Because the connection, you know, this thing brings up, was it? Love shows us also everything that's not love. All the places we need to heal in order to you know, keep the thing flowing between us. On Four of Swords, Queen of Cups. This is letting it in. Feminine energy of receptivity. You see how I lived in Texas for a while, and when people in the church testify, they do like that. And I do like that too. It's, it's almost like your antenna. You're being open to the love that flows from Source. It's not about doctrine. It's about Source energy, about love. Somebody may, in fact, be healing from a rigid belief system. Well, it's working. In this nest is the heart attached to the thorns. Healing the heart. Softening the hurt. Being open to that Two of Cups relationship because you've established this. It's the opportunity of loving yourself. What a blessing is that. On Two of Cups, Seven of Pentacles. That's a card of investment. Of trying to grow something. The root system is magnificent. What shows up above is as yet small. But this is established. This is something that's, you may not be able to see a whole lot for your efforts. But you've been investing in building Pentacles energy. Work through work and effort, building the connection. Both of you. That's what makes it a sacred connection. Both of you are in, and both of you already love yourselves. That's how come you can offer it. Tell me about Queen of Cups. Could be a Scorpio. I'm not quite sure, because this is a Two of Cups situation, so I believe this is the relationship between these two earth signs, or between two stable people who have a relationship that's existing and stable in 3D. King of Swords. Three of Swords. Somebody has known pain and heartbreak and something tore into this person's heart. It could be a memory of pain. King of Swords is, can be considered whole, can be considered cold. Sword energy, kind of analytical, but this person isn't cold. They were pierced to the quick by something. They still remember it. It informs how they think about the world and about connection. A little bit cold. The wires, the telephone wires, the communicative cords have been cut. There's the cord. Healing the connection on the basis of acknowledging the pain, maybe? What's going on with this King of Swords, please? He doesn't want to tell us. Not known for, being blabby. Okay. Not known for being blabby. What's going on with the King of Swords? Emperor. Well, Emperor is a divine masculine and an energy of control. I was just trying to think about what did I talk about at the very beginning, and it was ritual. Well, King of Swords may have bounced back, taking control. And see the chess piece? Determined to think about their next move. King of Swords, think about it. Emperor takes action. King of Swords may want to communicate now about how they were hurt, how they hurt somebody else. Take responsibility for it. Yes, I did that. Wands energy. I did that. I own it. Maybe it was my lack of communication, says King of Swords, that kiboshed this relationship. Lack of communication kiboshed the relationship. Eight of Swords is a card of being stuck in your head, of thinking you're stuck. I mean, this person's got this kind of double, there they are, and there's the reflection of themselves. And they may think poorly of themselves. Somebody was up in their head, wanted to untie those knots. They were always one step removed, No. I mean, there's the real person, there's the... Yeah, I'm not sure. They worried about what other people thought of them or thought of this relationship, Sword energy. Eight of Cups. Well, evidently they got themselves free. This is a card of moving on, but it's on the the love path, the path of connection, out of the head into connection. 8 and 8 is 16. 16 is Tower. I think in this reading, Tower is a sacrifice, an emotional sacrifice. Almost like to open up a future. Because the place that this person was in was too, didn't allow for growth. It was too tight, Tower energy. It's something that burst at the seams. Burst free of the bonds, broke free, left something behind. Maybe in order to get to this 2 of Cups. 8 of Cups plus 2 of Cups is 10 of Cups. And I think it took a long time to, get it above ground. This may have been in some way buried or dormant or something like that. But suddenly, love breaks out of the cage. 8 of Cups, 8 of Swords. Love breaks out of the cage. The feelings aren't contained anymore. Okay, one more. Star card. Card of Aquarius, Sword energy. Of that connection to higher power. It's a card of healing. Healing the mental inhibitions or all the reasons why somebody couldn't move forward or go for what they loved or reach out for higher love, the higher commitment, Hierophant. Breaking out of the mental cage and guided to the healing place. Yay! This is a card of victory, of letting in the light, of somehow, standing in the warmth. What's emanating from you what's coming toward you. That thing, we keep talking about that, but see, this is kind of like you're shining brightly. You have the stage, you have the mic, you have a platform, and it may just be in your the people in your immediate influence in daily life, who you allow to see who you really are, something like that. And you see the arms reaching out and the arms ready to receive. There's something you could feel proud of and should feel proud of. And it has to do with the light. Receiving the light. Receiving the love. Be proud of your open heart, perhaps, and of your desire to free yourself, Eight of Swords, and go toward, well, it's also toward the light here. Bring me a higher love. And it's almost like I'll walk toward it, it'll walk toward me, it'll come into my life. Is there one more? But first, somebody had to wrap up a cycle. You know, perhaps even move, pack their bags, pack up the yak, and get on the road. Something's lighting their way. They're like following the wands, the lights. It's kind of like, you know, it's almost like once you get out of the cage and you get on the move, the lights guide you. They guide you home. They guide you to the healing place. I think maybe King of Swords, some masculine or person who's the action taker, who maybe was in some state of disconnect while they were trying to figure something out. They were trying to figure out, I mean, perhaps a love triangle or just a decision they'd made, sword energy that really broke something apart, and now they're understanding it and owning it as an emperor would. And, you know, I think the Queen of Cups person kind of blew the top off something that was too small. You know, she had better ideas for what the future would hold. And it may be that person, the Divine Feminine, left in order to create a new future for themselves. Okay, one more on these two stable people, because I don't quite understand where that comes. Maybe like once the dust is settled, you know, it's like kaboom, and all the debris from the old structure, you know, goes up in the air. The future is as yet unwritten. But once the dust settles, here we are. Grounded and real on the other side of this dramatic, sudden emotional change that involved liberation and coming out of the head, healing, you know, inhibiting thoughts, moving on from inhibiting feelings. Scorpio energy, inhibiting thoughts, healing from it. I mean, this is a pretty consistent reading. And I think it's sort of like all's well that ends well, or something like that. But there will be an ending, you know. All's well that ends well. There we go, 10 of Wands. Something will change and never be the same, because there's no going back after Tower. But I think this relationship is solid enough. It's a spiritual connection. It's earth energy, the Taurus of Hierophant, and these two meeting each other in their lives, making room for each other, making room for the relationship, and somehow grounded enough to withstand this kind of change. There may be something coming. But it will be a liberation, not a demolition. Okay. All right, that's where we're going to stop it. I'll see you guys next time. Hey, please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you like the video. Join if you like the channel. And blah, blah, blah. I'll see you next time.